Hello students, welcome to the online lecture of KTHM College. In last lecture, we have seen how to apply elementary row and column transformations on given matrix. And elementary row and column transformations has actually a special application which helps us to find inverse of a matrix, which is our next concept. So let us start with a concept of inverse of a matrix. In last lecture, we have already in shorts seen what is the definition of inverse of a matrix. So let us revise that, and then we will go to the actual methods of finding inverse of a matrix using elementary row transformations or using elementary column transformations. So let us start with a definition, and to understand the definition, first we must know what is inverse. Here it is clear that 8 is a number and its reciprocal is 1 by 8. So 8 is taken at a denominator. Similarly, here it is clear that the inverse of a matrix is nothing but the same idea as that reciprocal of a number. That is, if you have given a matrix A and if you consider its reciprocal, it is not called as reciprocal, it is called as inverse, then it is 1 upon A. So this 1 upon A is called as inverse of a matrix, and therefore instead of writing 1 upon A, if we writing that as A inverse, then that is called as inverse of a matrix. So inverse of a matrix means actually nothing but a reciprocal, but only the one here, that is not the number. Here 1 we expecting also as a matrix, and that matrix is nothing but an identity matrix, which we all learned already. So let us see now what is the concept. 1 upon A is actually denoted by A raised to minus 1. Okay. So some similarities are there actually between reciprocal and inverse. When we multiply a number by its reciprocal, for example 8 into 1 by 8, what is the relation? We are getting 1. In a similar manner, if you considering the matrix A and its inverse, then also we getting 1, but 1 from matrices, and that 1 from matrices is nothing but identity matrix. So when we multiply a matrix by its inverse, then we getting an identity matrix that is written here. Okay. So which is like 1 for matrices, and here we know that identity matrix is of the type 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Here we expected that the matrix A under consideration here is a 3 by 3 matrix, then here the right hand side matrix I is also a 3 by 3 matrix. Now while considering inverse of a matrix, the definition is like this: if capital A is a square matrix of order m, so it is expected that it must be a square matrix, and if there exists another matrix B of the same order such that BA into AB is equal to I, then this matrix B is called as inverse of A, and it is denoted by A raised to minus 1, and that is why this relation becomes A into A inverse is equal to A inverse into A is equal to I. Now while considering inverse of a matrix, we must know some important things about the matrices. That is, we must know some preliminary knowledge about matrix inverse, and it is a very important concept about existence of inverse. In order to invert any matrix, its determinant should not be 0, that is, it must be a non-singular matrix. So determinant of a matrix is not expected to be 0. Determinant non-zero, we know that that is called as non-singular matrix. So that is your first condition. And the second condition is, if A is a square matrix such that determinant of A is not equal to 0, that is, if given matrix is a non-singular matrix, then in that case if inverse exists, then it is always a matrix which is unique. So the matrix B which is inverse of A is always unique. That is an important thing. So everyone's answer must be same, it should not be different for every student. Now we are going to start with the concept of elementary transformations, that is elementary row and column transformations to find inverse of matrix. we're going to split this into 4 parts. 2 by 2 matrix, row transformation, 2 by 2 matrix, column transformation. Similarly, we're going to consider 3 by 3 matrix with row transformation and 3 by 3 matrix with column transformation. So let us start with inverse of a matrix using elementary row transformations. Now, for finding inverse of a matrix using elementary transformations, we have to keep some important things in mind. There are 2 ways to find inverse of a matrix using elementary transformations. We know that matrix A raised to minus 1 is called as inverse of A if A into A raised to minus 1 is equal to A raised to minus 1 into A is equal to I. And therefore, in this there are 2 parts. The first part is A into A inverse is equal to I. If you considering this first part, that gives us the method of finding inverse of a matrix using elementary row transformations. So whenever we expecting the use of row transformations, we have to use the equation A into A inverse is equal to I. What is the reason? That also we going to consider next. Similarly, if you considering elementary column transformations, then when we using elementary column transformations to find inverse, then now we have to use this second part, A inverse into A is equal to I, and that helps us to find inverse of a matrix using column transformations. Now see what is the reason behind considering these 2 separate equations for 2 separate methods. Whenever we considering elementary row transformations are applicable only on a free factor A. Whenever you considering any product AB, suppose this is product AB, then this A is called as a prefactor and B is called as postfactor. So on this prefactor A, you can use only row transformation, and on this postfactor B, you can use only column transformations. That is the restriction, and that's why we considering 2 separate equations from this equation. For row transformation, first part, that is A into A inverse is equal to I, that is taken here, and for column transformation, A inverse into A is equal to I, that is taken here. So there are 2 separate methods of finding inverse using row transformations or using column transformations. So let us see one by one. So whenever we considering row transformations and column transformations, and if you want to find a inverse of 2 by 2 matrix, so consider a 2 by 2 matrix A11, A12, A21, A22. Here we have considered a general matrix. Then for finding A inverse, using row transformations, we have seen that we have to consider this equation A inverse into A is equal to I. Now here I means identity matrix of order 2, and we have to consider this equation as the given matrix A is of this type, that is A is equal to this matrix that is written here A11, A12, A21, A22. It is multiplied by A inverse, and that is equal to identity matrix of order 2 is what? 1, 0, 0, 1. Now what we have to do, whenever we considering inverse of a matrix, then we have to reduce this matrix A on left hand side to an identity matrix. We have to reduce this to identity matrix by using suitable row transformations, and at the same time this matrix I on right hand side will reduce to some another matrix, because this is an equation. For balancing the equation, whatever may be the transformation you apply on left hand side, you have to apply same thing on right hand side also simultaneously to balance the equation. And therefore whenever we considering any row transformation on left hand side, that is simultaneously applied on right hand side also. So let us see how we finding the inverse. So whenever we apply row transformations, what is the important key factor? Changing A to I on left hand side. While doing so, matrix I on right hand side also changes to a new matrix, say X. That is, initially your equation was A into A inverse equal to I, and now that becomes, here I is reduced to, Here A is reduced to identity matrix. The left hand side matrix A is reduced to identity matrix. At the same time, the same transformations are applied on I on right hand side, and that reduces the matrix I to some another matrix, say X. Now, whenever we considering I into any matrix, that results into any matrix. That is, if you considering I into X, it is I into A inverse, it is A inverse, and therefore A inverse is equal to X, because we know that I into A inverse is equal to A inverse. That is an important property about identity matrix. Now, with the example we get it clear. Suppose we considering here the matrix A consisting of elements 1, 2 in a first row and 3, 4 in a second row. We seen that for the existence of inverse, two important things are important. First one, its inverse exists if and only if determinant is non-zero, and the inverse exists if exists, then it is always unique. So, those are the two important key features of inverse. So, we expecting here find the inverse using row transformations. So, while considering the solution, we have to consider A as a matrix 1, 2, 3, 4. So, let us see what is its determinant. Determinant of A, that is determinant of, how we considering product of these two elements minus product of these two elements, isn't it? So, 4 minus 6, and therefore it is minus 2. It is clear that determinant of A is minus 2, which is not equal to 0, and therefore A inverse exists. Now, once you getting that inverse exists, then you can consider the further procedure. If this determinant is equal to 0, then you can directly say that inverse of a matrix doesn't exist, and in that case no need to do any further calculations about that matrices, for which this determinant coming 0. Okay. Now, here determinant is minus 2, which is not equal to 0, therefore A inverse exists. So, let us see what is the inverse and how the inverse takes place. Since we wants to use row transformation, you have to use the equation A into A inverse is equal to I, and therefore it becomes, our matrix was 1, 2, 3, 4, then into A inverse, that is as it is, and it is equal to I on right hand side is 1, 0, 0, 1, that is identity matrix of order 2. Now, what is our aim? We have to reduce this left hand side matrix A to an identity matrix, that is only written here. The matrix 1, 2, 3, 4 is to be made 1, 0, 0, 1, and for that we going to use suitable row transformations on the left hand side matrix A here. So, let us see what type of transformations are applicable. Now, this is already 1. So, we have to consider this one as it is. Now, we have to reduce this element to 0, then reduce this element to 1 and this element to 0, so that you will get 1, 0, 0, 1 and here 0. So, you have to go in this direction. This is called as anti-clockwise direction. So, whenever we using row transformations, we have to go in anti-clockwise direction like this. Make this as 1, then make this as 0, then make this as 1, and then make this as 0. In this direction you have to go whenever we using row transformation. So, let us see what type of transformation we going to use. Here in the first step, you want to reduce this element to 0. If you multiplying this by 3, then 3 minus 3, that becomes 0. So, that is why this first row is multiplied by 3 and it is subtracted from second row. That is why your operation is R2 is replaced by R2 minus 3 R1. Whatever may be the transformation you using on left hand side, you have to use that on right hand side also. So, let us see what happens. So, writing unchanged rows first. Now, it is clear that while we using this transformation, there will be a change in R2 only and not in R1. The same thing happens here also. There will be a change in R2 only. This R1 remains as it is. Here also R1 remains as it is. So, first write unchanged rows and then go to the next step. So, here the next step consisting of, here first row remains unchanged. So, 1, 2, that is as it is. Then into A inverse, that is equal to, here also on right hand side first row remains as it is. there is a change in second row only 3, and here if you multiplying by 3 you will get 3 here, you will get 6 here. Similarly here temporarily you will get 3, and here you will get 0 into 3, that is 0. Those elements we have to subtract here. So 3 minus 3, it is 0, isn't it? 3 minus 3 into 1, that is 0. Similarly 4 minus 3 into, actually here it is 2, not 0. 4 into 3 minus 4 minus 3 into 2, that is 4 minus 6, it is minus 2. So it is clear that here, therefore the elements here are 0 and minus 2. Similarly on this side 0 minus 3 you have to consider. 0 minus 3 into 1, isn't it? And that is minus 3. Similarly 1 minus 0, it is 1, and therefore you will get the elements here minus 3, 1. This way you can consider the next step. Now in the next step you have to reduce this element to 1. To make this element 1, just divide this second row by 2. So that will be our next transformation. So you have to consider R2 is taken as R2 divided by minus 2. Let us see what happens. Now again the first row is unchanged, but here what you will get, 0 by minus 2 it is 0, and minus 2 by minus 2 it is 1, into A inverse, that is as it is equal to, we can consider the same thing happens here. First row 1 0, that is as it is, but here minus 2 divides, so minus 3 upon minus 2, what you will get, 3 by 2. Similarly 1 divided by minus 2, what you will get, minus 1 by 2. In this way you will get the next step. Okay, now this is your next step, and in the next step you have to reduce this element to 0 now. So to make this element 0, you have to consider multiply this by 2. If you multiplying this by 2, and if that is subtracted from this first row, then 2 minus 2, that becomes 0. So that is our next operation. Here R1 is considered now R1 minus 2R2, and with that you will get 1 0 0 1 into A inverse. See here on right hand side also what happens. If you considering the transformation here, that is R1 is taken as R1 minus 2 times R2. R1 is taken as R1 minus 2 times R2. Then what happens? Here 2 minus 2, it becomes 0. Here also you have to multiply by 2. So here you will get 3, and here you will get minus 1. That you have to subtract. Here you will get 3. Here you will get 3 multiply by 2. Here also we have to multiply by 2. Here 0 as it is. Here 2. Here if you multiplying by 2, here you will get 3. Here you will get minus 1. And that you have to subtract from first row. So what your first row becomes, 1 minus 0, it is 1. Then 2 minus 2, it is 0. Then 0 1 that remains, 0 1 that remains as it is. This is your left hand side, and the right hand side will be 1 minus 3, it is minus 2. 1 minus 3, it is minus 2. Similarly 0 minus of minus 1, it is plus 1, and the last row, that is 3 by 2 and minus 1 by 2, they remains as it is. So this is your right hand side. So that is represented here in the next table. See here, with that you will get 1 0 0 1 into A inverse, and that is equal to minus 2 1, and here 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2 as it is. Now you will observe that this is equation of the type I into A inverse is equal to X. This is equation of the type I into A inverse is equal to X, and whenever I into A inverse is equal to X, then you have got the last step. So therefore the matrix obtained on right hand side here is nothing but your required inverse. So therefore, minus 2, 1, 3 by 2, minus 1 by 2, that is nothing but your required inverse of a matrix. This is the way to find inverse of a matrix using row transformation, and here we have considered an example of 2 by 2 matrix. Similarly, if you want to find A inverse using column transformations, to find A inverse using column transformation, we have to consider A inverse into A is equal to I. Consider the equation A inverse into A is equal to I, and what to do? Now A appears as a post factor, so change A to identity matrix. Change this A on left hand side to the identity matrix using column transformations, because this is a post factor, and on a post factor we can use column transformation. And at the same time, for balancing of the equation, same transformations must be applied on right hand side. Due to that, this matrix I on right hand side will change to some another matrix, say X, and that X on right hand side which is converting, that is nothing but our required inverse of a matrix. So consider the equation A inverse into A equal to I, reduce this A to identity matrix, at the same time this I on right hand side will get converted into required inverse, say X. So your equation was A inverse into A is equal to I initially, and what we doing? We reducing this to identity matrix, and we considering this as reducing to X. Therefore you will get A inverse into A is equal to I, now becomes as A inverse into I is equal to X, and we know that A inverse into I is nothing but A inverse. So therefore the A inverse is equal to X, as this A inverse into I is equal to A inverse. This way we will get the required inverse of a matrix. So again, let us see with the example. Suppose we are considering here A is equal to 2, 1, 3, 4, and we need to find inverse by using column transformation. Our first step is to make this 1. Okay. Then in a next step, make this 0. Make this as 0. Then in the next step, make this as 1. And in the last step, make this as 0. Means whenever we using column transformation, we starting with 1, 1th element, then 2, 1, 2, then 2, 2, and then 2, 2, 1 element. So we moving in which direction? Clockwise direction. So whenever we using elementary row transformations, we have to go in anti-clockwise direction in this way, and whenever we considering use of elementary column transformations, we have to always go in which direction? That is clockwise direction. Is that clear? So go in this direction, make this 1, then make this 0, then make this 1, and then make this 0. This way you can consider the reduction of given matrix to identity matrix when we using column transformations. Okay. So let us consider now the equation. Here A is equal to the matrix 2, 1, 3, 4. So consider its determinant. Again, inverse is possible if and only if it is non-singular. So that's coming. Here product of these two elements is 8 and product of these two elements is 3. So 8 minus 3, it is 5, which is not equal to 0. Therefore A inverse exists, and to find the inverse, consider the equation A inverse into A is equal to I. Reduce this A to identity matrix. At the same time, this I on right hand side will convert into required inverse. So let us see what happens. A inverse into matrix A. What is matrix A? 2, 1, 3, 4. Now that is equal to identity matrix of the same order 1, 0, 0, 1. Now we have to do the transformation in such a way that this 2, 1, 4, 3 matrix, that is left hand side matrix, will convert into identity matrix, and at the same time this identity matrix will convert into your required inverse. So therefore consider the transformation suitably. Now to make this one, it is better that we interchange these two columns, or you can consider this first column C1. This is your first column C1 minus this second column C2. That way also it is possible. So you can use different types of transformations to convert this element to 1. So our first job is to make this element 1, and let us see which type of transformation used. C1 taken to C2, C2 taken to C1. So this second column will appear as a first column. So see what happens. A inverse, this remains as it is. Here the first column is 1 4. So second column appears as a first column, and now this first column 2 3 appears as a second column. The same thing happens on right hand side also, because we have to balance the equation. So 0 1, this second column on right hand side appears as a first column, and this 1 0 that will appear as now the second column. This is your first step. In a next step, you have to reduce this element to 0. So if you want to make this element 0, then what to do? So to make this 0, you have to multiply this by 2 and then subtract from this. So let us see what is the operation. C2 is taken as C2 minus 2C1. Therefore, what you will get? You will get here the first column is as it is, unchanged column written first. So you have to consider 1 4, they are as it is. Or here what happens? 2 minus 2, it is 0, but 3 minus 8, here you have to multiply by 2 for the first column. So it becomes 2, this becomes 8. So 3 minus 8, it is minus 5 written there. And the same thing happens on right hand side. Here you have to multiply the first column by 2. So 0 into 2, it is 0, but 1 into 2, it is 2. Therefore 0 1, this first column remains as it is. There will be a change in second column. 1 minus 0, it is 1. Okay, and 0 minus 2, it is minus 2. 0 minus 2, it is minus 2. In this way you will get. Then next we have to consider reduction of this element to 1. If you want to make this element 1, then what we have to do? Divide by minus 5. So your next operation is C2 is considered as C2 divided by minus 5. So what happens? A inverse into first column 1 4, that remains as it is, but in second column 0 by minus 5 is 0, but minus 5 by minus 5 is 1. The same thing happens on right hand side also. First column, that is 0 1 as it is, and here we have to divide by minus 5. So you will get minus 1 by 5 in the first entry, and minus 2 by minus 5, that is 2 by 5 as a second entry. And now your next job is to make this element 0. To make this element 0, you have to multiply this by 4. You consider C1 minus 4 times C2. So see whether that operation, C1 minus 4 times C2. What happens? A inverse as it is. Here we have to consider first column 1 minus 0, that is 1, and 4 minus 4, it is 0. This second column 0 1, that remains as it is. There is no any change in C2, because this transformation make the changes in C1 only, not in C2. Same thing happens on right hand side also. There will be a changes in first column. 0 minus 4 times this entry, minus 4 into minus 1, that is plus 4. So 0 plus 4 by 5, it is 4 by 5, and 1 minus 8 by 5, so it is minus 3 by 5. Is that clear? Then minus 1 by 5 and 2 by 5, that remains as is. Now it is equation of the type A inverse into I is equal to X, and we know that when this we getting, we have to stop the process, and the right hand side is nothing but our required inverse. So that's why your required inverse is the right hand side matrix 4 by 5 minus 1 by 5 minus 3 by 5 and 2 by 5. This way you can consider the inverse of a matrix of order 2 by 2 using elementary row transformations or using elementary column transformations. Next we are going to consider determination of inverse of a matrix using elementary row and column transformations, but we are going to consider now 3 by 3 matrices, that is we are going to consider now big matrices. Now see what happens. We know that a general 3 by 3 matrix is of this type: A11, A12, A13, then A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. This is our general 3 by 3 matrix. If you want to find the inverse of this matrix, you have to consider the equation A inverse, A into A inverse is equal to I, and you have to reduce this to an identity matrix. So if you want to reduce this to identity matrix, you have to make 1 here, then make this 0, then make this 0, then make 1 here, then make this 0, then make 1 here, then make this 0, then make this 0, and finally make this 0. If you using row transformation, you have to go in this direction. Okay, that is again anti-clockwise direction. So let us see what are the steps. So follow these steps for row transformations. Whatever may be the other elements, you have to reduce the first element a11 to 0. So make a11 to 1, that is this element must be made 1. In the next step, what are the elements below it? In the next step, whatever may be the elements below it, reduce them to 0. That is your next step. So see, what is your next step? Here already we have made 1. Then next step is make these elements 0. Okay. Then in the next step, make this element 1. So that is your next step. Make 1. See here, make this 1. Then in the next step, reduce elements above and below leading 1 to 0. So you have to consider, we have already this situation, make this and this element to 0. So make these zeros. Okay. Then in the next step, you have to reduce this element to 1. Okay. So make 1. And at last step, you have to consider reduction of this element and this element to 0. See here, make these zeros. Is that clear? So these are the steps to reduce given 3 by 3 matrix to an identity matrix. Now with the example, we get it clear. Find A inverse using row transformation. Suppose you have given the matrix 1 2 4, 1 3 4 and 3 6 13. Then to obtain its inverse, first you have to check whether inverse exists or not. So 1 into 39 minus 24 minus 2 into 13 minus 12 and plus 4 into 6 minus 9. So you have got, this is 15, then this is minus 2 as it is, and 4 into minus 3, that is minus 12. So you will observe that the determinant is 1, which is not equal to 0, isn't it? Therefore A inverse exists, and you will get the inverse by using row transformation in this way. A into A inverse is equal to I. So 1 2 4, 1 3 4 and 3 6 13, that is your matrix, into A inverse is equal to 1 0 0 0 1 0 and 0 0 1. Now making A21 0, actually this is already 1. So in the next step, you have to make this 0 and make this 0. So what are the transformations for making A21 and A31 to 0? These positions are called as A21 position and A31 position. So to make them 0, it is clear that if you subtracting R1 from R2, then here you will get 0. Here R3 minus 3R1. So let us see whether we getting the same thing as the next transformation. So your transformations are R2 is considered as R2 minus R1 and R3 is considered as R3 minus 3R1. With this, your matrix will reduce S2. There will be no any change in first row, but now 1 minus 1, what will get? 0. 3 minus 2, 1, and 4 minus 4, 0. That is your second row. Okay. Then next you have to multiply this by 3. So here you will get 3, 6 and 12. So R3 minus 3 R1, multiply by 3 and subtract from this. So what you will get? 3 minus 3 0, then 6 minus 6 0, and 13 minus 12, it is 1. The same transformations you have to consider on right hand side. So what you will get? First row, that is as it is 1 0 0, but here 0 minus 1, it is minus 1, 1 minus 0, it is 1, and 0 minus 0, this subtraction. So you have minus 1 1 0. In the next step, you have to consider this multiply by 3. So if you multiplying by 3, here you will get 3 0 0. Those are subtracted from this. So if you considering this subtraction, 0 minus 3, it is minus 3, 0 minus 0, it is 0, and 1 minus 0, it is 1. So that is your next step. In the next step, you have to consider, now see here, in the next step, already you have to make this one, it is already 1. then this element we want to reduce to 0, and this element also we want to reduce to 0. If you want to reduce this element to 0, what is the operation? You have to multiply this by 2 and subtract from this first row. So R1 minus 2R2 will be the next operation. So see what happens. R2 minus R1 minus 4R3. So with this, actually we have to make this also to 0, and for making this 0 you can consider R1 minus 4 times R3, that is used first, and therefore R1 minus 4R3 is considered. That will give you 0 here instead of 4. The same transformations are applied on right hand side also, due to which you will get this 0. Next, making A12 to 0, that is this element A12 we want to reduce to 0. Then multiply this by 2 and subtract from this, that is R1 minus 2R2. Okay, so R1 minus 2R2 is our next transformation, and therefore you will get 1 0 0. Okay, 1 minus 0 it is 1, 2 minus 2 it is 0, 0 minus 0 it is 0. Then there will be no change in second row or third row, they remains as it is, into A inverse, and that is equal to same transformation on right hand side, R1 minus 2R2. You have to multiply this second row by 2. What you will get? Minus 2, here 2, and here 0. Those we have to subtract from this. 13 minus 2, it is 13, minus of minus 2 it is 15, 0 minus 2, and minus 4 minus 0 it is minus 4. There will be no change in second and third row, they remains as it is. So it is clear that you have this equation of the type I into A inverse is equal to x, and therefore A inverse is equal to x. That is, this conversion on right hand side is nothing but your required inverse. So A inverse is equal to 15 minus 2 minus 4 minus 1 1 0 and minus 3 0 1. You can verify whether your determination is correct or not by using the definition itself. What is the definition? We have seen here. While starting with finding inverse, we have got here A into A inverse is equal to I. So this is your matrix A, and you have just obtained your required inverse. Okay, that required inverse is here, and that inverse if you multiply with the given matrix A, then definitely the resultant should be identity matrix. That is, a cross verification is also possible. Okay. Now if you want to consider the procedure for column transformations in case of 3 by 3 matrix, then you have to consider these column transformations are the steps considered here. Make this 1, then make this 0, make this 0, then make this 1, then make this 0, then make this 1, make this 0, make this 0, and at last make this 0. Okay, so that is, we have made this 1, then these are 0, then make this 1, then this 2 0, make this 1, then to this 2 0, this 2 0, and then this 2 0. So again the traveling in clockwise direction. So for column transformations we have to go in clockwise direction. So see, in the first step, make the first element as 1. Okay, in the next step you have to reduce this element and this element to 0. See here, make these elements 0. In the next step, make this element 1. See here, this element 1. In the next step, this and this element reduced to 0. Okay, in the next step, make this element 1 here, and in the last step reduce all elements above near to 1 to 0. So initially you have reduced this element to 1, then these elements to 0, then make this element to 1, then the elements in a second row are made 0, middle one is already made 1, then A33 made 1, and at last these A31 and A32 made 0. And this way you can consider the determination of inverse by using column transformation. These are the steps which are used here. So let us try some examples from exercise. Suppose we have this example. If A is equal to 1 0 0, 2 1 0 and 3 3 1, and we want to reduce it to identity matrix by using column transformations or by using row transformations, then remember that whenever we considering such type of example, our first job is to check whether it is reducible or not. It is reducible if and only if it is non-singular. Here the determinant is coming 1, it is non-singular, that's why reduction is possible, otherwise it is not possible, always remember. So our first transformation on matrix A, this is your matrix A which is given here, 1 0 0, 2 1 0 and 3 3 1, that is also considered here. Now on this use the transformation C1 minus 2C2. Due to that C1 minus 2C2, C1 minus 2C2 means this is your first column and you considering C1 minus 2C2, so that this will reduce to 0. See what happens. A is reducing to, here 1 remains as it is, 2 minus 2, this becomes 0, 3 minus 6, that becomes minus 3. Then second column and third column as it is. Now our next step is to make this element and this element to 0, and therefore we have to use these transformations by C1 plus 3C3. If you multiplying this by 3 and that is added here, then this, if you multiplying this by 3, then that is added here, then that becomes 0, and if that is subtracted here, that becomes 0. So this can be made 0 by using these two transformations. Okay, so therefore A is reduced to an identity matrix 1 0 0, 0 1 0 and 0 0 1, which is I3. So using column transformations, this is actually, you will observe that a lower triangular matrix, and a lower triangular matrix is easily reducible to identity matrix, or upper triangular matrix is easily reducible to identity matrix. Next example is reduce this matrix to identity matrix by using row transformation. Similar type of example is there. Again consider the determinant. You will observe that the determinant is 1, which is not equal to 0. Therefore it is reducible or it is transformation possible. Then you have to consider the given matrix. Now whenever we using row transformations, you have to make this one, and to make this one, either you can subtract second row from first, third row from first, or you can interchange. So let us see which type of operation we using here. So we using R1 minus R2, so that 2 minus 1, it is 1, 1 minus 0, it is 1, 3 minus 1, it is 2. Okay, so R1 minus R2 is takes place. Then in the next step, you have to reduce this and this element to 0. So for that, what we doing? R2 minus R1 and R3 minus R1. We get A is equal to 1, then 0 0, here 1. Now what happens? R2 minus R1, so 0 minus 1, and here 1 minus 2, isn't it? So that's why here you will get minus 1, here you will get minus 1. And whenever we consider R3 minus R1, then we will observe that here 1 minus 1, that gives 0 here, then 1 minus 1, that gives 0 here, and 1 minus 2, that gives minus 1 here. In this way you have obtained second and third row of the next resultant. Then next step is to reduce this element to plus 1, and that can be done by considering minus 1 times R2. At the same time, you can also consider reduction of this to 1 by using minus 1 times R3, and therefore your next matrix will be 1 1 2, first row as it is, but here this is changed in sign, this is changed in sign due to minus 1 R2, minus 1 R3. Our next step is to make this element to 0 and this element to 0 and this element to 0. To make these elements 0, we are going to consider the next transformations R1 minus R3. Now due to R1 minus R3 and R2 minus I3, let us see what happens. You will observe that here whenever you consider R1 minus R2 first, then this becomes 0 and this becomes 1, and then R2 minus R3 if you considering, then this becomes, actually here we are getting 1 and that 1 becomes 0, so that you getting this type of resultant matrix. Then find inverse of a matrix. Here A is equal to 1 minus 1 2 3. What is its determinant? 3 plus 2, it is 5, which is not equal to 0, so therefore A inverse exists. So consider A into A inverse equal to I, 1 minus 1 2 3, that is as it is, into A inverse is equal to 1 0 0 1. Now our first step is to make this 0, then we have to reduce this to 1 and then this to 0. Okay, so let us see how that is possible. To make this 0, we are going to use the transformation, multiply this by 2 and subtract. So R2 minus 2R1, so that is our next transformation. R2 minus 2R1, we will get 1 minus 1 as it is, but 2 minus 2 becomes 0. Here also you have minus 2 and 3 minus of minus 2, you are getting 5. Here also what happens, you have to multiply this by 2, 0 minus 2 it is minus 2 and 1 minus 0 it is 1. This way you can consider. In the next step you have to make this 1, so divide by 5, so 1 by 5 times R2, we will get first row 1 minus 1 as it is 0 1 into A inverse. Now what happens here, minus 2 by 5 and 1 by 5 on right hand side, because you are dividing the second row by 5. Then in the next step we have to consider here next step we have to reduce this element to 0, that is R1 plus R2, and with this you will get 1 0 0 1 into A inverse. The same thing happens here also, 1 minus 2 by 5, that is 3 by 5, 0 plus 1 by 5, that is 1 by 5, and second row 2 by 5 1 by 5 with negative sign, that is as it is, and hence this is of the type I into A inverse is equal to x, and therefore it is clear that this A inverse is as it is. So it is clear that we have got the required inverse. This right hand side is nothing but your required inverse of a matrix. This way you can consider. Next, consider determination of inverse of a matrix A by using elementary column transformations. Now this is somewhat difficult example, because we have a 3 by 3 matrix and we want to use column transformation. So again, as usual, first you have to consider its determinant, it is minus 6, okay, and which is not equal to 0, therefore A inverse exists. So our first step is to consider A inverse into A is equal to I. Now since we are using column transformation, A must appear as a post factor. Therefore your equation will be of this type, A inverse into matrix A 1 0 1, then 0 2 3 and 1 2 1 is equal to 1 0 0 0 1 0 and 0 0 1. This is your equation. Now we have to consider, now here you will observe that here first you have to consider reduction of this element to 0. Since we are using column transformation, we have to go in clockwise direction. So make this 1, make this 0, then make this 1, make this 0, then make this 1, then make this 0, make this 0, and finally make this 0. This is our step. So therefore you have to consider reduction of this to 0. So you can consider this is C3 and this is C1. So consider C3 minus C1. Is that clear? Okay. So due to C3 minus C1, you will get the matrix, that is 1 0 0 0 2 3 and 1 2 0, that is equal to 1 0 minus 1. The same matrix, same transformation is also applied on right hand side also. Then next you have to reduce this element to 0, this element to 1 now. To make this 1, I am going to use two steps. First I am going to interchange these elements, that is C2 3. Due to this, what happens? Your first column remains as it is, the second column is now 0 3 0 and third column is 0 2 2. Then on right hand also the same thing, first column 1 0 0 as it is, but the second column is third column coming as second, minus 1 0 1, and second column coming as third. Is that clear? In the next step you have to reduce now this element to 1. So simple thing, you have to consider C2 minus C3. So that is your next step, C2 minus C3. So that will give first column as it is. Second column, 0 minus 0, it is 0. 3 minus 2, it is 1. And 0 minus 2, it is minus 2. Third column, 0, 2, 2 as it is. Then the same thing on right hand side, 1, 0, 0 as it is in the first column. But in the second column, minus 1 minus 0, it is minus 1. 0 minus 1, it is minus 1. 1 minus 0, it is 1. And third column, 0, 1, 0 as it is. In the next step, you have to consider reduction of this element to 0. How that is possible? C3 minus 2C2. याला 2 ने multiply करा आणि subtract करा. So C3 minus 2C2 if you considering, you will get first column 1, 0, 0 as it is. 1, 0, 1 as it is. Second column 0, 1 minus 2 as it is. But here 0 minus 0, it is 0. 2 minus 2, it is 0. And 2 plus 4, it is 6. Then same transformation on right hand side, first column 1, 0, 0 as it is. Then second column minus 1, 1 as it is. But here 0 minus of minus 2, that is plus 2. 1 minus of minus 2 plus 2, that is 1 plus 2, it is 3. And 0 minus of 2 into 1, that is minus 2. This is your resultant. Now you have to make this 1. To make this one, divide this third column by 6. So that is your next transformation, by 1 by 6 times C3, you will get this type of last column. 0, 0 where there? You will observe here 0, 0, 6 are there. It is when divided by 6. This last column when divided by 6, you will get distinct elements. If you considering this divided by 6, 2 by 6 it is 1 by 3. 3 by 6 it is 1 by 2. And minus 2 by 6 it is minus 1 by 3. These types of elements must be there on right hand side. So let us see what happens with the next page. So you have by 1 by 6 times C3. So you will observe that 0, 0, 6 that becomes 0, 0, 1. And on right hand side you have got 1 by 3, 1 by 2 and minus 1 by 3. Is that clear? Now you have to reduce this element to 0. To make this element 0, C1 minus C3 is sufficient, and to make this element 0, this plus 2 times this is sufficient, that is C2 plus 2C3. Okay. So due to that you will get the matrix of this type. Here 1, 0 and this becomes 0. This becomes 0 now. Then 0, 1, this becomes 0 and 0, 0, 1. And the same transformations on right hand side will give you the elements 2 by 3, minus 1 by 2, 1 by 3, minus 1 by 3, 0, 1 by 3, and 1 by 3, 1 by 2, minus 1 by 3. Now you will observe that this is of the type I, A inverse into I is equal to X. So this X on right hand side is nothing but your required A inverse. So you have got A inverse as this matrix. You can take 1 by 6 common outside, so that you will get 4 minus 3, 2 as a first column, minus 2, 0, 2 as a second column, and 2, 3, minus 2 as a third column. If you want to check whether this answer is correct or not, just use the relation A into A inverse is equal to I, or A inverse into A equal to I. That will clarify that whether your determination is correct or not. So that is whatever may be the answer you have got, you can check that is correct or not just by definition. Is that clear? So this is something about finding inverse of a matrix using elementary row and column transformations. We have seen 2 by 2 and 3 by 3 matrices. Okay. Thank you very much.